played C Power's friend. A little snippet.
Hi, I'm Rosemary, and I played Rosie as C Power's wife. It was not easy, Sha, but
Hi, I'm Hetty, and I played Hetty as Rosie's friend.
Hello, I'm Isaac. I played as C Power.
The main guy.
The main guy. So today we are going to talk about whatever we did in the video and what we think we did right and did wrong in the characters that we played. This is traditional, real like African marriage, and not necessarily, but every marriage has issues. You know, guys want to be in control, but we're in a dispensation where I think it got to be both ways. It shouldn't be just guys being in control, but we should all work as a family to come out with understanding, not like necessarily just being like, I'm the boss, I'm the head of the house, so I just have to be controlling and just talking shit, you know, to your wife or that. So that's pretty much what we're going to talk about, the scenes and everything we did in the marital issues. Yeah. So Mr. Tim, so what do you think about C Power? His actions.
I think C Power is, to some extent, I think he was, I would say justified in some of his actions. Wow, it doesn't look like a lot of It doesn't look like a lot of Because I think I see it in the sense that if you don't find happiness in your home, you tend to look outside. It doesn't have to be the right thing. It doesn't have to be the right thing, but it's just how human works. We always try to find happiness wherever we are, and if you're not finding it somewhere, we tend to look to other way. That's how I feel.
Yeah, but if you can't give happiness, where will you go and find it?
Yeah, happiness. You know, this is something like most married women don't understand. That men, once we get married and we don't find happiness in the house, we tend to our friends, right? Technically, I married you because I found some kind of happiness with you, right? But it gets to certain points in our marriage, and they feel like, well, I'm married, so I can do whatever I want. So, you know, that's where men begin to look somewhere else for the happiness they're not getting previously.
But your character, your character started this whole drama, and it was about money. So you brought that on yourself.
But like you know, in African tradition, most women think like, oh, we spend men's money, but the women's money, I don't spend it. Like the women tend to keep their monies.
Yeah, but she only works 2 days in a week.
Does that matter?
And she takes care of the house. She buys the groceries and everything else with the little money that she makes.
But she still.
But you have a full-time job. You're a career man or whatever, and you make all that money, even though you pay bills. Yes, I get it. But she still contributes in the house. She's not just. She does. Come on.
But she still has money. She still has money, right?
Let Rosie speak for herself.
No, it doesn't matter. But
Rosie
you know, like to me though, like I'm not asking much for my wife. Like it doesn't matter how much you make. You have to be honest with your husband. Hey, I made $200 a week, or like maybe $500 a week.
Yeah, but you're taking the whole $200.
I'm just saying.
For your girlfriend.
She makes more than that.
I think C Power's character is quite an interesting character.
Oh my god.
And I feel like we have more time to actually go into deep down into C Power's character, because it'll be. I think there's a lot to learn about that character.
I agree.
Yeah, good or bad, there's a lot to learn from it.
Well, what I think about C Power is a little aggressive when it came to his actions. A little.
He said he was calm though.
No,
Look at me, calm.
He's saying he's calm, but you're not seeing the
Yeah, you're saying it, but you're not acting
Yeah,
it,
one
like
thing I
you're
have to know
not
is
showing
that
it.
C Power is more physical, you know what I'm saying? So the fact that he's being, a little shaky doesn't mean he's not calm. That's probably his nature.
No,
That's probably
I feel like he took advantage of that calmness. So it's just you're just using the word, but you're not acting like it. To me, C Power was should I say arrogant?
I mean, he's your husband, you should know it.
Describe your
married
husband.
Yeah, he was a bit like you're the one in need of something. You're asking, so you should ask politely, not with so much like command.
You were
as
so
if
aggressive.
you gave me the money to keep.
It's
for you
because
and you want
there's
money.
it's because I asked violently, because every time I act smoothly and calmly and lovingly, I don't get it.
I guess,
So
we didn't see that part.
So sometimes, like you still gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Because like I ask, women tend to keep their money. It's like, no, this is mine. We gotta spend a man's money, but I gotta keep my money, and it shouldn't be that way.
Because if you go out there, who is going to act? I am the man of the house. So you have to act like it. Take care of the house responsibility.
It's a two-way game.
Your
Marriage
is our
marriage
money,
is two-way game.
Okay.
It shouldn't be just one way.
We're not still acting.
Yeah, I mean,
Alright.
but there's some. I feel like there's some things that necessarily a man has to take care of. And one thing again that we have to like say personally is money would make anyone, being broke would make anyone be out of character. Especially a man. If a man doesn't have money, they would definitely be out of character. There's some things that women can always like make like, even if a woman doesn't have money, you tend not to know, because they always try to make the little things look like a big thing. So even there's nothing in the house, you tend to see them mix two things together and it looks like a lot. But when a man has no money or is broke, yeah, we are a different character at that point. So
so it's like, I mean, I take care of the house, I pay the bills, I pay the mortgage, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then sometimes I still got to do some grocery shopping, while she keeps her money, because she feels like, oh, I don't make a lot of money.
But
so
she says she takes care of some responsibilities. And you guys
some
you guys have
responsibilities.
2 kids.
it just feels like
the two kids, I take care of the kids. What does she really do about the kids?
How old are your kids?
They are only 7 and 8.
So you don't have to buy no diapers.
But then again, we can't like. What is taking? Because I mean, nowadays I feel like there's some things we have to be careful of saying nowadays, because when you say you're taking care of something, there's a difference between taking care of like supporting the house financially, and there's like being present emotionally, physically, and every other stuff.
I do it all.
C-Power, like,
I'm there financially, right? Emotionally, everything you can think of.
Because that's why we see some kids that actually like that they are actually from a well-to-do house and they end up being in the wrong place.
Right.
Yeah.
And ending up growing up wrong
Because they grew up with fathers
there's financial aspect of it, but there's always has to be a balance between the financial and the emotional and the physical part. Like, are you present in the house?
Yeah, exactly.
And stuff
it's
like
one
that.
thing
So
to
that's
Yeah, for the most part, I think
it's important too. And it's not just the kids too, for the wife too.
Exactly.
For the most part, I think I'm present, right? You can testify.
You're not
Yeah, get money.
Okay,
like
so what do we- Go ahead. What do we like? For me, I mean, if I'm judging C-Power's character in all, I would say C-Power's character was way out of line
Yeah.
when it comes to marriage. If we're judging it at all, but then again, if we're to break it down, there are definitely gonna be pros to his character. I mean, we can justify it to his character, but I think most of it, like being out of line, outweighs more of in being right or justifiable.
So which way was my character out of line? Like
demanding for money.
That's it.
Ready for money.
It just seemed like you had no respect for her.
No, I didn't respect my wife a lot.
No, it didn't show that you had
the movie.
You didn't.
He said even though you opened the door.
You talked to her anyhow.
I think in the sense of, I mean, also like what you said, and also going to his friends, asking for advice from his friends and all that. I mean, it's okay to ask advice from your friends, but you should be able to discern what a good advice is and what a bad advice is.
I think it gets to a point in a man's life when you get more frustrated, you tend to.
Isaac is still a character, like, like action and
okay, let's move on to Timmy's.
No, I think we're gonna C Power is the main character, so that's why. So we're gonna come back. Let's come back to C Power.
Let's explore the other characters.
Definitely.
All right, let's talk about Tim. The advice he gave to C Power was it
horrible? Because
let me defend the character. Wait.
First of all, you're a man that's married.
Let me defend.
You have a family too, but how you gonna leave your house?
I mean, he's fine for me though.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that what you do though?
Let me defend my character a little bit because we can see from what the little things we saw is we only saw one side of each story, which is C Power's side. And whenever I came down, it's mostly the wife that's always doing the shouting.
And you can't wait to leave.
That's it. And I was placing some.
How was Rosie always the one shouting?
You wouldn't want to pop out of the room in one of the
You did pop out. You did pop out of nowhere.
He was the one who started.
And you said every day, money.
What he was saying, the only thing he was saying is she's not being nice. She's not this. She's not that. And then you popped out of the room and it just went off.
Yeah. So she was out of line because like I received a friend, right? And then at least just show some respect to my friend. Even if you don't respect your husband, just show respect to my friend, right? We got a visitor.
But you didn't have to do all that extraness in front of your friend too.
We'll go back to Power.
You were both out of line. That's just bottom line. You were both out of line.
Maybe there was some kind of anger there. That's why like I couldn't control myself. But then at least my woman has to, kind of like control the situation. Control the situation,
She was very respectful though, because you told her to go open the door, even though you were sitting really close to the door.
But then the last time I told her to open it, she told me she can't open it.
That's because you pissed her off. Okay.
I think there's so many things wrong about
about your character.
The two characters.
I don't understand. I would understand.
So are you saying that she gave me wrong advice?
Yes, because as somebody who's married yourself, is that what you do in your home? Because I ain't gonna leave your home. I ain't gonna leave your home and come give somebody that kind of advice.
I mean, I think
which tells me that's
like
what you do.
basically what I'm. Yeah.
No, because I wasn't
about
happy. And as a friend who is trying to...
We talked about that. Remember I said I've been there, done that. So it's the same situation
so
I've been at.
So are you done with that? Been there, done that?
Like, it's the same situation I've been at, and this is what I did
and it worked.
To somewhat give myself some false sense of happiness.
Exactly.
Right or wrong.
So then how did you get back?
Who said I'm back?
Oh. Okay.
I feel like we didn't put too much spotlight on the friend's character, but I mean we know the little bit that we know about the character, but it's just I guess he gave the advice of what he felt like. Oh, that was some sense of happiness in it. So.
But if you could change anything about your character, what would you change?
What would I change? Like in what sense? Like what do you mean if I could change anything?
Like if you could...
If you had to give me a different kind of advice...
Would you still stick to the same?
Oh no, I mean if we're actually giving a moral lesson, like actual real life moral lesson, like no, you wouldn't advise your friend in that sense.
Yeah, because I feel like you should be able to sit down with him and say, this is what I did, this is what happened, the pros and cons of...
Yeah, and then it became so uncomfortable when I was in the house a couple times and you could see the wife like, because I was like ready to go. I think in that sense, I would feel like that's not something a friend can talk about or can advise you about. Especially a friend that is barely hanging on to their own marriage. I feel like it's just something you want to talk to. Maybe someone that is maybe a spiritual lead or someone away from your close person, someone that would give you a real advice or someone that is not biased. Because if you're called his mom or if you're called any of their parents, they will be biased about their answers.
But she called his mom. That was the whole.
Well, I think Tim gave me a bad advice. To begin with, because knowing my situation, he could have called both of us to be fair, right? and then talk to both of us in order to resolve the issue versus just bugging his friend to do bad things. Because there are people who, like, once they know this problem in marriages, oh, just leave your wife or leave your husband or go for someone else.
Yeah.
But instead of them to try to resolve the problem, they will try to destroy the relationship. But which is which is really wrong. So I think my friend, the advice he gave me was very horrible.
Yeah.
Even though like he's trying to, he was siding with me to make me feel better. But in a real sense, like a good friend is supposed to help me to mend my broken relationship versus destroying it.
Yeah.
So you're a bad friend, basically.
I mean, but then again,
but then
that's his character.
Okay,
though.
but this is where I connect what Tim was saying. That it's one thing for him to give you an advice, and it's another thing for you to decide if that advice is good or bad.
It was up to you.
I know, I like that it gets some kind of emotional state, and then at that point you can't really think, so you need somebody to lean on.
To numb the pain.
You need somebody to numb the pain. So it's like sometimes you get into some kind of situation and you can't really think straight. So you tend to follow an advice of friends. It could be bad, it could be wrong. Until you do it, you don't really realize that what I did was
out of character.
Was out of character. Yeah.
Well, that brings us to the moral lesson of what you just said. To me, I feel like if your friend, like, if you're going through like difficult times in your life or your marriage or whatever situation it is, and then you talk to somebody, it doesn't mean that you have to take their advice, but listen to it. That's what a wise person would do. Listen to what they have to say, and you don't like have to rush into conclusion or just speak on that advice. Okay, this is what my friend said I should do. Maybe he might be right, but you need to like sit down, take steps back and reflect on it. If I act as Tim advised me to, like, you have to think about it. What will happen if you do it that way, and what could go wrong or good. You understand what I mean? So you don't have to. If Timmy say, okay, go and put your hand in that fire, you say, because Timmy say I should go and put my hand, but your brain is telling you that fire is hot, my hand will get burnt or something. You understand? And that's going to be something that you have to live with for the rest of your life. So the fire is hot. Are you sure I should go and put my hand inside there? You understand? So that's what I felt like. So if Timmy advised you, you don't have to say, okay, let me just go and do. Timmy might be wrong.
Yeah, that's right.
But he might not even see it that way.
Yeah.
But then again, I think
right.
that's a good advice too. And what he says is there are times when we're in actually emotionally fragile state that every idea, the first idea that comes to your head sounds like a really great idea. So I think it's just a matter of you just knowing who you keep around you.
Yeah.
Period. Like just knowing who's around you and knowing what kind of friend this person is. And you don't even tell your life story to someone you just see after 10 years. Like,
yeah, that's
I think let's talk about that first.
I didn't just meet your friend like in a short period of time and then just like
I don't even know where you've been. Like, have you been in jail? Have you been?
So I think that people should learn how to keep their mouth shut, right?
And just
then deal with your own issues. And at least find the right person to talk to at what time.
Yeah, I think it's
versus just talking to anybody you meet out in town.
Definitely.
About your
marital issues. It felt like okay. Do you not have any other friends?
I know.
Hey, you are the one who was really available.
He just kept calling back.
Just came back, and that's his friend to you.
He was an old friend though. Like, he's been my friend for a very long time.
Yeah, but you guys haven't connected for 10 years.
I think it's really great when couples to learn how to talk to each other in situations like that, like just to make things better.
Yeah.
And if they feel like it's becoming too much, I feel like it's always good to talk to someone that you look up to when it comes to marriage wise. It doesn't have to be a spiritual lead, doesn't have to be a pastor, but I know there's someone that you always look up to, like, oh, this person has been married for a long time. I think there's someone I can talk to them.
I think that's a really
talking to a friend.
So seek for somebody who is mature in marriage.
Yeah, definitely.
Somebody who has
definitely not your.
Yeah.
So
like that, obviously, Tim is not.
I know.
Season enough.
I feel like there's so many red flags. Like, after 10 years, he just walked right into it. Like, we've been talking for a long time.
Alright, so I get it.
Yeah.
Alright, now let's talk about Rosie's character.
Right.
So, what do you think Rosie did wrong? Did right?
I mean, I feel like Rosie is just
Rose was too weak.
Calm. She was too calm.
Too weak.
Cause God knows. Yeah. But she was just way too calm, and she was just taking everything that you were throwing at her, which is her character. Yes, that's what she's supposed to do. But I feel like in real life, that would have been a whole different.
But I think what Rose did also saved her marriage. If she was some kind of other, like wife, or whatever, the marriage would have been broken. You know what I'm saying? So if one side is boiling, and she also be like, okay, because he's boiling, I'm also going to boil, then the whole thing is going to be like crazy.
No, I get that.
You know what I'm
that
saying?
makes sense.
So whatever she did still saved her marriage, and Rosie is still married.
She's passionate about it.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so like, it's not like she's weak or anything.
No.
But what I feel,
the character.
What I feel.
Oh, you said that.
Yeah. So what I feel, whatever she was doing or portraying, I know it got to a point where she was really heated and didn't even want to answer the door, and try to do whatever. But for the most part, she was doing whatever a wife has to do to calm her husband down, to make a happy home, in spite of whatever the husband was doing.
Did I miss something?
Did he tell you that he was calm?
Yeah.
So for the most part, I think Rosie did a very good,
She played
display.
her character very well.
Yeah, she did very well.
Yes.
Like a typical African woman supposed
I
to
feel
do.
like it's. I feel
Okay,
like
explain why you feel like she was weak.
I mean, I have to be careful what I say too.
Like he said, if it's boiling, the wife should.
Yeah. I feel like there are times when she should have
blown up.
Yeah, and I just felt like she was way too calm for.
Yeah, and that is what it's supposed to be. That's supposed to be,
we're
right?
saying in this. I mean, in the sense that we're saying that she's trying to. I mean, I guess it would be like a kind of subjective statement. Like we're saying that she's trying to save her marriage. Some people can see it in the sense that she was just taking the abuse, emotional abuse.
Yeah, I know some people would take it as abuse.
And it looks normal to her, because there's seen a situation where people are like facing domestic violence in their home.
Yeah,
and they're just like, and people are saying that just leave, boy. It's not as easy as you saying. Yeah. Just leave. She has kids to think about too, and all that stuff,
And that is why we have so many, so many divorces moving around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People get married today, and the next day. But in the olden days, it wasn't like that. People, they were able to marry for 30 years, 50 years, 60 years. But now, 4 years, 8 years, 10 years, and that's it. You're done. You know what I'm saying? I think it's about time. It's about time. Like the role that she played as a calm, trying to save her marriage, trying to calm her husband down. I think she did really well. She did incredibly well.
Did it turn out to be a good thing for her at the end of the day?
At the end of the day, she saved her marriage.
No.
Like that's what we gotta think about. Like, did it turn out good at the end of the day? Would it turn out good?
Yes, they were able to mend their relationship. Yeah, after he forgave her for what she did not do.
Yeah, because I
was like, what? I forgive you for what?
I felt like if she would still, if something that might still continue if she doesn't, because the kind of stance she took was calling his mom. With time, that would be played out to the husband, and what is gonna be the next move then? What is she gonna do then? I think there'll be time when she would have to speak up for herself.
It was a good thing that she talked to my mom because. Obviously, when she talked to my mom, I was able to calm down and then,
because she said she doesn't have money, and then he was like, "I just need money."
Yeah, I'm not gonna go rock the bank.
I felt like there will be time where she would have to like speak. I mean, if we continued,
You have to be firm.
there'll be times she would have to speak up for herself and make it known, because I feel like that's the difference. I was just talking to someone this morning, and I feel like that's the difference between marriage back then. I know the divorce rate, we can talk about like the pros and cons. Like the divorce rate are higher nowadays than it is before, but I feel like our parents like just kept quiet to a lot of things that women nowadays
they feel like they have been abused, so they will not take it.
They would
like, I'm not gonna take that shit. You know what I'm saying? And then they start fighting, and then it ends up in court. All right, divorce.
But then again, it's just something as a man too. You have to be open to, like, things are changing now. Like being married before is different from being married now. Women are like much more. They're much more than a housewife now. They're much more than that now as before, where you can easily call a woman a housewife, but she wouldn't get so angry. But nowadays, if you call a woman a housewife, she's gonna be mad.
Yeah,
So
I mean, it's all depends.
Women are much more.
For the most part,
more than that now.
Yeah, it's like I'm also contributing. So like, you can talk to me
much more
anyhow,
partner now than they
yeah.
are.
But I think that in marriage there should be mutual respect.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
That way, men shouldn't feel like we are on top of the marriage and we are controlling everything. So there should be that kind of balance. Yeah, so that they'll be happy and better life in the family.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Rose, what do you think about your character?
You guys are
It looks like you're enjoying your character. Alright, so let's talk about Rose's friend. The advice she gave her and
marriage
everything.
therapist.
Well, what I think about the counselor, Rose's friend, I think she did incredibly well. She didn't just take side like Tim took side with CR. She used her life situation and about being a man and how they want to control the house and how they want to be, whatever. But then she was able to, at the end of the day, she was able to calm her down and try to, take it easy and, pray that, things get better. So I think that friend gave a good advice in comparison to Sephar's friend, Tim.
Yeah.
At least had fun though. Sepha had fun though.
You can't say anything negative about my character.
Yeah.
But then again, I only came in one time, so who knows?
It doesn't matter. Like if you're going to give bad advice, you could have given it right from the get-go, right?
That is a fact.
Yeah. Tim came in and started giving me horrible advice.
2 days later. Back to back.
After we've been apart for 10 years and my marriage is in shambles, you're going to give me this advice to stay out of my house?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was a good thing to see different aspect of friendship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you get married, don't fall on friendship for bad advice, right?
Yeah.
Go to more reputable people like the elderly, like your pastor or whoever that you really trust. That people who have been in marriage for a very long time. And they know how you can, balance your life. No marriage is safe. No marriage can, nobody can say like my marriage is 100% perfect. Everybody has issues, in their family.
Definitely,
right.
Definitely.
But you just have to take a necessary step to make things work.
Yeah, I think it's just it's important to know even though we know the man is the head of the home, the wife is the owner of the home. So I think it's just you have to just differentiate what owner means and being the head of something means. I think that's where the balance comes in because a woman definitely owns the home.
But one thing I need y'all to understand is that women, when you make money, it's our money. It's not just your money.
Nobody was arguing. She never.
Because that's what most African women think though. Because this is my money. We gotta spend a man's money. But my money is my money.
I think some African men actually love that though.
How many?
Some people do like
that. No, they actually love it because they feel it makes them feel. It gives them that ego. I love it.
I don't do.
He said I love it.
No. I feel like it gives you some sense of like even even though the
like
woman,
entitled,
like, even though it gives you some sense of like, yeah, I'm actually taking care of stuff in the house, even though the woman is actually.
You still taking
I mean, you're still taking care of the house.
I know,
doing
but
that.
don't like if you as a woman, if you get your paycheck, don't try to be like it's just mine.
Even though she adds it, it's still a sense of you. She coming to you, she wants to buy something. It gives you a sense of like, you know, like it gives me that ego, like a boost.
Okay, I'm the man of the house.
Yeah, I know. Even though in reality, you're really not.
I'm the man of the house, but at the same time, whatever money we make, you need to make it available.
Of course.
That hey, I don't care how much you make, $50, $200, whatever. Just let me know that this is how much you make, and this is how much you're also contributing to help the house. You know what I'm saying? That way I know that.
But that's
but like whatever my wife makes, you know, she's more like open to her income versus just keeping it secret. Like, this is my money.
But she was never.
I don't feel like she's keeping it. Okay, let me say this.
I think he's just talking generally. He's not talking about.
It's just in general.
Generally.
Yes. Okay. Let's talk about it in.
But
general.
that's how you feel though.
So,
just like Timmy has a whole different perspective on that.
I think it's just that. I think
it's just
depends.
it's just who you are. Like
yeah,
it's just,
I think
how you feel about your home. But you can't just say, let me make this clear.
I'm just saying, like in general, though.
For you,
but
that's how most men feel.
I get what you mean. Like even if it's not going
men,
into anything, you just want to know what.
You just like it when a woman try to do, you know,
stuff. I'm not saying like how much is mortgage?
Yeah.
Big, right?
Yeah.
Like electricity bill, water bill, and other stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I think you just want.
So it's like you're thinking, but at least you want to see that your wife is still, you know, helping. Like okay, well, if I go in, if I lose my job, would my wife help? You know what I'm saying? Would she be available to, you know, to spend her money?
Yeah.
Well, some women feel like, oh, it's my money, so I got to use my money. I got to spend my money on myself.
You're getting kicked out of the house.
They'll be like, oh, well, your job, you lost your job. That's on you. You better pack your stuff and go.
But then again, that would,
sense,
I think that would come down to the type of person the woman is.
Right.
Yeah.
Because generally, because I mean, if I think you just married the wrong person. If you lose your job and then she's like,
I gotta return it to your parents.
You gotta go. And then, I think you just married the wrong person overall, because regardless of how much, even if she makes more money than you, and that happens, she's probably still gonna kick you out.
You'll be like, hey, man, I don't think you're making it now. You need to get your ass out of here.
You gotta choose your wife wisely.
I think that's just about.
I mean, people change too. You know, they meet, they are in love and whatnot, and then they get to a certain point in their lives, and they be like, and you know.
Yeah, I mean, finances would test any friendship, relationship. Money would test anything. Yeah, money is
Money is the root of.
Yeah, I know.
The love of money is the root of.
I think money would test anything. Even not having money generally would test any.
Yeah, because Mr. Give me $200 over here.
This is 200. You know.
Not having money would because you can just, and the way we process stuff is different as a man and as a woman we process stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's totally different. So I think that's something we have to talk about too. Generally, if you're a couple, it's something that has to be discussed.
You know, women think differently.
Yeah,
and men
definitely.
Think differently.
Because
so it's about time that married like the young couples, we need to read books that will enlighten us, that will help us understand.
What's that book?
Women think
Oh yeah,
women are from Mars and the men are from Venus.
Something like that. Yeah, that's a good book.
And then make sure you read Marriage Covenant too. It also helps.
Yeah.
Well, like giving free promo.
I know.
I'm giving a free
promo.
Copy,
okay.
I know. But it's. I think no one knows. There's no manual to.
There's no specific manual how to marry. You know, like it's individual differences. Whatever what works in my home might not work in your home. It doesn't
come with instructions.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's just how to figure out.
Yeah, but I think it's just important to know. Like we just have to. As a man, it's just important to honor your wives, and as a woman, it's important to honor your husband too. I think that's where.
And there has to be mutual respect.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Mutual respect.
I mean, there's no point being married to someone that you don't respect.
And communication. That's
all right. So, guys, we thank you so much for your deliberation. So mutual respect, communication, loving each other, not just talking to random friends who met for like 10 years.
I know.
You know, so talk to other people who are well versed in marriage, and then try to work your marriage. You know, we don't have like an a dictionary to guide your marriage. All you gotta do is just figure out what works best for you, and then roll. Because there's been a high rate of divorce in American families and most families out there. So it's about time that we figure out what works best for us and seek for better advice versus seeking for random friends and other stuff. So we thank you for watching us, and stay tuned. We'll be bringing you more episodes.
Put your family in prayer too.
Yes.
Great
Definitely.
Oh yeah, prayers. Yeah, we can, of course, obviously.
And if you're going through any domestic abuse, anything in the home,
just call me. Just call me.
make sure you talk to the right source and just get some help.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So we thank you, and until we meet again. Adios.
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 Bye, guys.
Bye.